Good morning and welcome to our weekly investor update. I'm Nicole Hoare, Business Development Manager within our agency, and Sarah Northcott joins me today.
Hi.
Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
Sarah is one of our senior property managers and she's joined me today because we actually are going to touch on some routine inspections. So we often will speak to upcoming investors, it may be current investors who own a property, and there's always lots of questions around routine inspections, the importance, how often, and why we actually do them.
Yep, absolutely.
So, Sarah, from your perspective, why?
So routine inspections are essential for promoting a lot of different reasons within the property. So there's asset and risk management that we look at when we do the routine inspections. Yep. It's also to see the way the tenant is looking after the home. We can't tell a tenant what they can and can't do and the way to live, but we can give suggestions of minor cleaning and what to look for, particularly when they vacate. It's also to improve the home overall with the owner and legal legislation that comes into it.
Yeah, so as an agency, under legislation, right, we can do 4 a year.
Correct.
However, we don't do 4 inspections a year, and there's a couple of reasons for it. So our routine inspections are 6 monthly.
Yeah, they're 6 monthly.
Yep. However, there is an exception to that rule,
Correct.
Isn't there? If you went to a property and the property wasn't being maintained to the standard that we expect.
Correct.
What would you then do?
I would have a discussion with both the owner and the tenant themselves to explain that their routine inspections would come back to 4 monthly, and then I would assess the property and explain to the tenant why we're taking them back. So it'll be ideas of the cleaning's not up to standard, there might be some additional marks that are not considered fair wear and tear in the property, the gardens and lawns aren't being cared for.
Yep.
So I go through the tenant what is expected as them as a tenant, I then send them a letter to advise them, and then I expect with the owner to advise that we're not happy with it, however this is the actions we are taking.
Yeah, we always want tenants to get their bond back at the end. So during this process, it is about educating our tenants, isn't it?
That's exactly right. And a lot of tenants don't know what's expected of them. Some tenants may think that, oh, yep, we'll just chuck that here in a quick vacuum. Sometimes that's not always good enough and it's going to help. At the end of the day, it's just about education.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So just in regards to our leasing numbers from last week, so what we have actually found is our tenant inquiries have dropped. So we've actually dropped 154 this week in the numbers. Our inspections scheduled has dropped by 1. What we've actually done, our applications received have dropped only by 8, so that number's not so different. And our property leased has remained the same at 5. Now, currently we're sitting at 0.41% vacancy rate across our agency, which that number is really good.
That is excellent.
And where we're at in comparable to the market. But what's your perception like from being on the ground in regards to those adjustments in the numbers in the last week? What are you seeing?
We are finding there are still a lot of people out there, but they're not showing up as heavily to inspections. We were getting 20 to 50 people that would show up to open homes. We're now seeing just under that number, so around 15 to 20 people is the max.
Yep.
We are seeing that properties are leasing quite quicker, so a lot of people are getting pre-approval then going through the properties. So they've already registered to see a property of ours and they may be approved on something else. So that's dropping as well.
Yeah, awesome. So if you're in the market looking for a property management team to work with, or you've got any investor questions, please reach out. I'm Nicole Hoare. Thank you again for joining me, Sarah, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.